Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 18th. This week, we are just going to jump right in here. Happy birthday, by the way. Or actually, it's not your birthday anymore. I was thinking about Leo. Sorry. Just kidding. But you know what? A happy belated birthday to you Cancers out there. But let's see here. That was the Empress. The Empress kept wanting to pop out here. And I also just noticed that the bottom of the deck is the Emperor, so that's interesting. We will definitely keep that in mind. Sorry, I'm traveling, so this deck doesn't really want to spread out on this table, but let's see what is going on for you at this time. Apparently this deck is upside down as well, but you don't come here for no mistakes, right? If I'm reading, there's something's going wrong, I'm sure, right? But let's see. You have this Drifter card. It says experiencing life as it comes. Kind of interesting because Pisces had something very similar to that. Their reading was kind of very similar to just like drifting around and experiencing life as it comes, which, you know, could be a possibility for you here, Cancer. You have some good stuff showing up. This is a good reading. So you have this Drifter card. It says experiencing life as it comes. So I feel there are a lot of experiences clearly coming in for you. Even if we go this first diagonal here, you have the Six of Wands, the Chariot, and the Ten of Wands here. So maybe you're kind of like looking for something. This would be more of, I wouldn't really call it necessarily like an adventure reading, but I would call it, you know, a trying to find your place reading. The reason I say that is the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is kind of like out with the old, in with the new. And the Ace of Wands can really say that you're looking for something that inspires you, something that excites you. I really do feel this is a very general reading. I don't think it matters if this is love or business or career. It's like I feel that there is, you're kind of like maybe going through, looking to have multiple experiences in the near future to figure out what you want. Is that a bad thing? I would say hell no. You have this, the Ace of Wands, amazing. You have this Fire card, which is also amazing. So it kind of looks like, to me, you're going to get what you want, but I would encourage you to have experiences with this energy. You have the Six of Wands, the King of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles. The thing with the Six of Wands is it is a card of success and a victory. And you know what's interesting is what's popping into my head is that you're going to be having something that people are going to be jealous of. And again, I'm not saying you should kind of like do things to make that happen, but I do feel, you know, there's this person right here above my finger, and I'm not sure if this is going to focus or not today, but you know, that person, they kind of are meant to look jealous. They're meant to look jealous of this person that's on the horse. The person on the horse doesn't care. And that's the whole point, right? Is that you shouldn't care what people think. Just live your life, do your best, and that's all that matters. And we don't need to respond to the haters or the people who are jealous or whatever the case may be. And that's how the Six of Wands guy operates. He doesn't respond to it. So I'd say it's like you're kind of like getting things that people could only dream of, but at the same time, I feel, you know, it's going to make you very successful. You have the King of Swords here. I feel like this is separate from the reading. Sometimes when I do readings, I feel like there's something that is coming into the reading that it's kind of like separate. You know, it's not that it doesn't necessarily belong to the reading, but it's kind of like an outside energy. I feel like there's some sort of rebalancing going on for you here. And I do also see it here with this Two of Swords for whatever reason. And what I would say is that if you're like waiting for, you know, karmic justice, or if you're waiting for a karmic correction, I kind of feel this is like, you know, karmic correction or whatever you want to call it. You also have the Five of Pentacles here. The Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. Whenever we find success, Six of Wands, and we become successful, you know, there could be a person who says you're stupid, right? And you might be thinking, oh my God, I am stupid, right? So this is saying, like, don't listen to those people. Like I said, Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. We all have weaknesses. Typically, the haters are very, very good in life at, you know, poking those weaknesses that we have. And that's what I see going on here in this reading. I feel like it's saying, yes, there might be people who, you know, who poke at things that are very true, right? But the trick here is to ignore it, right? So, and that's exactly what I'd be doing. Five of Pentacles, you know, again, is a card of being left out in the cold, a card of poverty. But again, really, truly, it is a card of being left out. It's a card of needing to make sure you don't call attention to your weaknesses. Next, you have the Moon card, and I kind of feel that there are some dreams that are becoming a reality. The Moon card is a card, you know, fears, fantasies, and illusions, but as I always say, nowhere on the Moon card does it say stop. There's a path normally straight down the middle of the Moon card that ends at some mountains, and mountains in the tarot represent accomplishments. So I feel there are a lot of accomplishments or opportunities for accomplishment coming in for you, but I feel like you need to kind of again face these fears. With this Six of Wands here, it definitely could have to do. The fear could be attention. As I was saying last year, we had like more, or like towards the beginning of this year, we had more energy in Aquarius. We still are going to have some heavy energies entering into Aquarius in the future. But what I would say is that, to me, it's kind of like this is the start of everyone becoming their own little star, as I've said before. But part of that is opening yourself up to criticism, people giving you a negative attention as well, right? So it's like we all have to learn to deal with that. And that's kind of like what I feel here with this Moon card. You have the Two of Swords, the Chariot, you showing up in a very strong position. I feel like this happened to you last week as well, Cancer, where you showed up in the center. I could be wrong, but it might have been someone else, but I think it was you. This puts you in a position of power and strength, and you have the Wheel of Fortune. It's like, this is what's going to change your fortunes right here, is the Two of Swords. She needs to see this new island behind her here because, the Two of Swords is a card of kind of like coming to an agreement or needing to come to an agreement. It can be a card of being at a stalemate as well, but there's this new island behind her, and if she just turned around, she would see that there is new opportunity right behind her. She could easily get to that new island. She could easily get the things that she needs in life or, whatever the case may be. So I feel like some of you, I'm not saying you're opening yourself up to fear, but I do feel you're kind of like opening yourself up to, experiences that could make you fearful with that Six of Wands, like getting attention. And again, this could have to do with love as well. It's like, obviously, if we want love, we have to get attention, right? We have to capture someone's attention. And I would encourage you to, this last row, really, I feel, is encouraging you to be brave, be bold, be assertive, like do those things. Even the Chariot. The Chariot says, where there's a will, there's a way. So I feel like you need to become more successful, or this is like about like really taking control. The Chariot is about like hard control. There are two cards of control in the tarot. This card and the Strength card. This is a card of hard control, meaning like you're the one that's taking control. And the other one's Strength card, which is a card of soft control. But I feel like you really need to kind of, make things happen. And again, there's a difference between forcing something to happen and just taking control. And it's basically about doing what you can with what you got. Like I just said to Pisces, here I am. I'm in the middle of Montana. I barely have internet right now. And, I'm having to make this work. I'm having to do what I can with what I got, right? And that's really what this is all about. Someone shared a great quote with me, and it was something about consistency. I actually think it's on my Instagram, and it was about something about consistency is kind of the thing that makes you successful. I don't know. It's popping into my head. I don't do my Instagram, by the way. I have an assistant who handles my Instagram, and so that was a really great post, and it's popping into my head. So sorry, I don't remember, but it's on my Instagram. It's like one of my posts from the other day. And I really kind of get that here with the Chariot card, where it's like, I feel like it's more about consistency for you. It's not so much about, kind of like being successful every single day. And I think that's, again, not to toot my own horn here, but I think that's what has made my channel so successful. It's like I definitely do videos that are a miss, right? That don't do well. But it's like I'm here every single day basically doing videos, except for when I'm like traveling or moving or doing whatever. And, but I do what I can with what I got. And I think that's what this is trying to say. You have the Wheel of Fortune. I get a major turnaround for you. I don't think this is a tiny little thing. And I'm not trying to make this dramatic, as always, but I do feel there are opportunities for significant turnarounds going on here for you. Again, you're going to have to be bold. You're going to have to be assertive. People always leave me comments, and they're like, you said this would happen. I'm like, first off, I'd never say anything's going to happen, right? To me, tarot is loose advice at best. It's basically a map for your life. You can choose to follow a map or not, right? It's up to you. So you're going to have to take action on this. But I feel like if you are bold, assertive, really go for something that could get a lot of attention on you with the Six of Wands. If you do those things, you will be successful. Again, I really shouldn't talk about those negative comments. I should talk about all the comments from you wonderful people that say that you've done these things and you've been successful. There are way more of those than there are of the people not doing anything, right? So I believe in you here, Cancer. I believe that if you take action, you will be very successful. You have this Fire card. This is like a fire in your gut here, Cancer. I feel like you feel very like motivated by something. I feel like you feel very energized and like ready to take action. with the fire card, so I would definitely move towards that. And then again, if something is building inside of you where you feel like motivated to do something, like go out and find love or start a business or whatever, I would go and do it. You have the King of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the Ten of Wands here. Obviously, this is very successful. This is about being bold, being assertive with the King of Wands, being very confident and enthusiastic and following your enthusiasm. And the Ace of Wands is about like in with the old, in with the, out with the old, in with the new is what I'm trying to say. There's a castle back here, and that castle is crumbling on the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is all about like new beginnings and moving towards something new. I'm pretty sure all your readings that I've done for you recently are about new beginnings. You show up here again, Queen of Cups. So, this puts you in a position of power and strength for sure. You basically show up here twice. This is stinking thinking right here, Cancer. So I feel for a lot of you, it's like you have a lot of dreams or there's something you want to create, something that's getting you excited. Ten of Wands is like, oh, but I have to do all this work. So I would get out of your head with the Ten of Wands. It's like, yeah, and I'm not even going to lie about it, right? It's like, yeah, whatever you're doing is going to be a lot of work. But what does that mean? It means that no one else is doing it. So it's like there's no competition where you're going. So you might be building something like a relationship or a business or whatever it is that's getting you excited here. And it's probably going to be a lot of work. But again, that means that there's less competition. That means that there's less of pretty much everything. Something that I like to talk about is economic mass, and I'm not even referring to financially, but it's like when you build something up, right, where you put in a lot of hard work, it's like eventually you get to a point where you could be making more money in your business. That allows you to make bigger moves, which allows you to be even more successful, which kind of totally eliminates like things like competition and stuff like that. So let's see here, Cancer. I knew that wasn't going to work, so let's see what is going on for you at this time. With the Six of Wands, you have the Eight of Wands, quick success. Again, it's like once you get to work on something that you're trying to experience, I think experience is an important word with this drifter card up here, then I feel like you're going to be very successful quickly. With the King of Swords, you have the Ten of Wands. Like I said, I feel like the King of Swords is separate from the reading. That would really tell me that you're coming to the end of a difficult situation with that King of Swords. I kind of just get more, like I said, like karmic justice or, some sort of justice coming in from the universe, basically, with that King of Swords. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Chariot. So Chariot twice in your reading, that's pretty amazing. There's definitely a victory coming in for you. Chariot really is a card of as above, so below as well, Cancer. I'm going to show you on this card. You can see that he has stars in the canopy, and he's got those moons on his shoulders. And again, the Chariot itself speaks about, as above, so below, or so within, as without. So, it's kind of a card of needing to ignore the Five of Pentacles, needing to not call attention to your weaknesses. With the Two of Swords, you have the Six of Swords, moving on to calmer shores. It's like there's new shores behind the lady on the Two of Swords. So it looks like to me that you're moving on from things here, or you're moving towards calmer shores. You're moving towards a time in your life where I wouldn't say things are easier. I don't think, as I always say, that we should wish for things to get easier. I think we should wish that things, that we get better, as Les Brown says, right? With the Chariot, you have the King of Pentacles. I really honestly don't like that the King of Pentacles has been coming up so much in readings, because it is a card of comfort zone. It's a card of being in a comfort zone. Should we really be in a comfort zone? I would say no. I think comfort zones are very dangerous right now because we are in a time of great change. So it's like if we get comfortable and we don't like evolve or adapt with the changes, then we're going to get left behind. And again, I don't want to scare people, but again, I want to be honest with people and be like, we shouldn't be just like sitting around like waiting for things to happen or, trying to create these comfort zones. It's like anytime I fall into a comfort zone where I'm like, okay, this is going to be, if I come up with like some sort of plan for this channel, for example, where I make things, easier, I try to take shortcuts, things always go down. And, to me, that's a sign of the times. It's like maybe years ago that would work, but now it doesn't. So I feel like we have to be careful of comfort zones. I've been encouraging people lately that, it's like 80% of the time, do what works. Kind of like the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time in your business or in your relationship, do what works. But 20% of the time, experiment, try new things, and just see what happens. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. Literally, you've probably heard me say it before. So it's a card of perseverance and persistence and kind of like not giving up. Really, you have two cards here that say you're almost at the end. The Ten of Wands, twice. So I definitely wouldn't give up, but I would also experiment, try new things. With the King of Wands and the Ace of Wands, you have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is a card of kind of like adventure. Five of Wands is also a card of, it's a card of conflict and competition. To me, it's a card that I call Indiana Jones. And we talked about this at the beginning of reading, how I don't really think it's an adventure reading. Parts of what you're going through might be an adventure, and I would encourage you to do that. But Five of Wands, like experiencing conflict for some sort of reward. I always say these people are learning how to fight. They're not really fighting, they're training. They're learning how to fight on this card. So I feel like for a lot of you, that's what could be going on. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Eight of Cups. See, this is interesting as well. You could be walking away from the Queen of Cups version of you and moving towards the Chariot version of you, which might be like the higher vibration version of you, or the version of you that takes more action. So you are kind of transforming on a very deep level as well. On the Ten of Wands, how crazy is this? You have the Six of Wands up here, Six Wands down here. So it's like going this direction is clearly the direction of success. And I feel like there's a lot of success. I also feel like there's a lot of attention. It's like all eyes on you here, Cancer. And that might be a little scary for you, but that's exactly what I would do. I would do the things that get you the most attention at this time. And we're talking about positive attention, right? There's negative attention, not a good idea. Doing things that get positive attention in your life are obviously going to be very, very good for you. So it's a really nice reading. I like it. So thank you for being here, Cancer. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.